The strongest person in the room is not the loudest, it's the one who controls their emotions. Emotional intelligence is not about suppressing feelings, it is about mastering them. Imagine a crowded boardroom where voices clash, tempers flare, and chaos brews. One person sits quietly, listening, observing, and then speaks with calm clarity. The room shifts. That is emotional intelligence in action, invisible power that commands attention without force. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the art of inner balance. It is the ability to recognize emotions, regulate them, and channel them into strength. It is the silent skill that separates leaders from bosses, partners from manipulators, and survivors from victims. The anatomy of emotional intelligence. EI is built on 4 pillars. Self-awareness, knowing what you feel and why you feel it. Self-regulation, controlling impulses before they control you. Empathy, understanding emotions in others without judgment. Social skills, navigating relationships with grace and influence. These pillars are not abstract theories, they are practical weapons in everyday battles. Self-awareness, the mirror within. The first step in emotional intelligence is awareness. Most people live blind to their emotions, reacting without reflection. Self-awareness is the mirror that reveals the truth. It is noticing anger before it erupts. It is recognizing fear before it paralyzes. It is identifying joy before it fades. Self-awareness is cinematic. Picture a leader pausing before speaking, scanning their own emotions, and then choosing words that inspire instead of wound. The suspense lies in the pause, will they lash out or lead wisely? Self-regulation, the silent power. Emotions are powerful, but unchecked emotions are destructive. Self-regulation is the art of holding the reins. It is pausing before reacting. It is choosing patience over rage. It is turning impulse into intention. Self-regulation is not suppression, it is mastery. It is the difference between a storm that destroys and a storm that waters the earth. Cinematic storytelling thrives here. Imagine a heated argument. One person explodes, the other breathes. The audience clicks because they crave proof that calmness can win battles. Empathy, the hidden bridge. Empathy is the ability to step into another's shoes. It is not pity, it is perspective. Empathy listens without interrupting. Empathy feels without absorbing. Empathy connects without controlling. Empathy is magnetic. It is the teacher who notices a student's silent struggle. It is the parent who senses a child's unspoken fear. It is the leader who hears what is not said. The suspense lies in empathy's invisibility. Audiences click because they want to see how unseen emotions can be understood and transformed. Social skills, the art of influence. Emotional intelligence culminates in social mastery. It is the ability to navigate relationships, resolve conflicts, and inspire cooperation. Social skills turn enemies into allies. Social skills transform chaos into collaboration. Social skills make leadership magnetic. Cinematic storytelling thrives here. Picture a negotiator calming a tense room, turning hostility into agreement. The thrill lies in watching influence unfold without force. The high CTR magnetism of emotional intelligence. Audiences crave emotional intelligence because it is universal. Everyone faces conflict, stress, and relationships. Everyone wants proof that emotions can be mastered. Emotional intelligence delivers suspense, transformation, and hope. EI is not glamorous in the moment. It is silence, patience, and listening. But in hindsight, it is cinematic. It is the calm leader, the empathetic parent, the resilient survivor. That is why emotional intelligence is high CTR content, because it is relatable, emotional, and unforgettable. The hidden enemy, emotional blindness. The opposite of emotional intelligence is blindness. It is reacting without reflection, speaking without listening, and living without awareness. Emotional blindness destroys relationships, careers, and peace. The thrill of emotional intelligence lies in suspense. Will they control their emotions? Will they master the moment? The audience stays because they want to see the answer. And the answer, always, is yes. The transformation through emotional intelligence. EI transforms identity. You begin to see yourself not as reactive, but as reflective. You begin to lead not with force, but with influence. You begin to connect not with manipulation, but with empathy. EI transforms relationships. Couples communicate instead of clash. Teams collaborate instead of compete. Communities unite instead of divide. EI transforms futures. Careers grow through influence. Families thrive through empathy. Leaders inspire through balance. The cinematic resolution. Emotional intelligence is not about avoiding emotions. It is about mastering them. It is the silent power that turns chaos into clarity, conflict into cooperation, and setbacks into comebacks. So when the room erupts, when tempers flare, when emotions rise, remember, emotional intelligence is waiting. It is the voice inside that says, pause, reflect, respond. Emotional intelligence is the art of inner balance. And balance is the rehearsal for greatness. Emotional intelligence becomes powerful only when it is practiced daily. Awareness alone is not enough, mastery requires repetition. Just as muscles grow through exercise, emotional intelligence strengthens through consistent habits. The battlefield of emotions is fought every day, in conversations, in conflicts, in decisions. The resilient mind does not wait for crisis to practice emotional intelligence, it trains in silence, in small moments, in ordinary interactions. Practice 1, the pause before reaction. The most powerful tool of emotional intelligence is the pause. When anger rises, pause. When fear whispers, pause. When impulse pushes, pause. The pause is cinematic. Picture a heated argument. One person explodes, the other breathes. The suspense lies in silence. The audience clicks because they crave proof that calmness can win battles. Practice 2, the emotional journal. Writing is reflection. Journaling emotions is the mirror that reveals patterns. Record moments of anger, joy, fear, and calm. Identify triggers that spark reactions. Track progress in emotional control. The journal is not a diary, it is a laboratory. It is where emotions are studied, dissected, and understood. Practice 3, mirror conversations. Stand before a mirror. Speak to yourself as you would to a friend. Replace criticism with encouragement. Replace doubt with affirmation. Replace fear with confidence. Mirror conversations are cinematic. Picture a person whispering, "I am enough," to their reflection. The suspense lies in repetition. Will the words become truth? The answer, always, is yes. Practice 4, empathy exercises. Empathy is not passive, it is practiced. Listen without interrupting. Ask questions without judgment. Imagine the world through another's eyes. Empathy is magnetic. It is the teacher noticing a student's silent struggle. It is the leader sensing a team's hidden fear. It is the parent hearing what is not said. Practice 5, breathing rituals. Breathing is the anchor of emotional intelligence. Inhale awareness. Exhale tension. Repeat until calm returns. Breathing rituals are cinematic. Picture a negotiator inhaling deeply before speaking, calming the storm inside. The suspense lies in the breath. Will they control the moment? Practice 6, daily reflection questions. Ask yourself 3 questions every night. Did I control my emotions today? Did I understand someone else's emotions? Did I improve my relationships? Reflection is the rehearsal for tomorrow's mastery. Practice 7, emotional role play. Practice responses to difficult scenarios. Imagine criticism and rehearse calm replies. Imagine conflict and rehearse empathetic listening. Imagine stress and rehearse breathing. Role-play is cinematic. Picture a leader rehearsing patience before facing a hostile meeting. The suspense lies in preparation. Will they master the moment? Practice 8, gratitude rituals. Gratitude strengthens emotional intelligence by shifting focus from lack to abundance. Write 3 things you are grateful for daily. Share gratitude with others. Practice gratitude in silence. Gratitude is magnetic. It transforms anger into appreciation, fear into trust, and stress into peace. Practice 9, active listening. Listening is not waiting to speak, it is absorbing. Maintain eye contact. Reflect back what you hear. Validate emotions without judgment. Active listening is cinematic. Picture a parent listening to a child's fear, nodding gently, and saying, "I understand." The suspense lies in connection. Will the child feel heard? Practice 10, emotional visualization. Visualization is rehearsal. Imagine yourself calm in conflict. Imagine yourself empathetic in conversation. Imagine yourself composed in crisis. Visualization is magnetic. It prepares the mind for mastery before reality arrives. The high CTR magnetism of daily practices. Audiences crave daily practices because they are actionable. Everyone wants proof that emotional intelligence can be trained. The suspense lies in the question, will these practices work? The answer, always, is yes. Daily practices transform emotional intelligence from theory into lifestyle. They turn awareness into action, reflection into mastery, and empathy into influence. The hidden enemy, emotional neglect. The opposite of practice is neglect. Neglecting emotional intelligence leads to chaos. Anger erupts unchecked. Fear paralyzes decisions. Relationships collapse under misunderstanding. Neglect is cinematic too, but it is tragedy. Audiences click because they want to see if neglect can be reversed. Emotional intelligence proves that it can. The transformation through practice. Daily practice transforms identity. You begin to see yourself as calm, not reactive. You begin to lead with influence, not force. You begin to connect with empathy, not manipulation. Daily practice transforms relationships. Couples communicate instead of clash. Teams collaborate instead of compete. Communities unite instead of divide. Daily practice transforms futures. Careers grow through influence. Families thrive through empathy. Leaders inspire through balance. The cinematic resolution. Emotional intelligence is not mastered in crisis, it is mastered in daily practice. It is the silent repetition of pauses, journals, affirmations, empathy, and breathing. So when the day ends, when emotions rise, when conflicts appear, remember, emotional intelligence is waiting. It is the voice inside that says, practice. Repeat. Master. Emotional intelligence is the art of inner balance. And balance is the rehearsal for greatness. Emotional intelligence evolves into transformation. Awareness and daily practice are powerful, but the true test of emotional intelligence is reconstruction, the ability to rebuild identity, relationships, and future through mastery of emotions. Collapse of control is not the end, it is the blueprint for something greater. Emotional intelligence does not simply calm storms, it redesigns the entire climate. It does not return you to the old patterns, it builds new ones. Reconstruction of identity. Emotional intelligence begins by reshaping how you see yourself. Setbacks often whisper, "You are weak." Emotional intelligence replies, "You are learning." Identity is not defined by emotional outbursts, it is defined by emotional mastery. Resilient individuals rebuild their self-image around balance, not chaos. Cinematic storytelling thrives here. Picture a professional who once reacted with anger, now pausing, breathing, and responding with clarity. The suspense lies in the transformation. Will they master the moment? The audience clicks because they crave proof that emotions can be reshaped. Reconstruction of relationships. Emotional intelligence transforms connections. Couples who once clashed now communicate with empathy. Teams that once competed now collaborate with trust. Families that once fractured now unite with compassion. Relationships are rebuilt not through force, but through emotional intelligence. The thrill lies in watching bonds strengthen, conflicts dissolve, and trust deepen. Reconstruction of future. Emotional intelligence is forward-looking. It does not cling to past mistakes, it designs new futures. Careers grow through influence, not aggression. Communities thrive through empathy, not division. Leaders inspire through balance, not fear. The resilient person does not ask, "How do I return to what I lost?" They ask, "How do I build something greater?" The cinematic transformation. Emotional intelligence is cinematic because it is suspenseful. Will the leader control their emotions in crisis? Will the parent listen instead of shout? Will the negotiator breathe instead of break? The audience stays because they want to see the answer. And the answer, always, is yes. The hidden enemy, emotional chaos. The opposite of emotional intelligence is chaos. It is reacting without reflection, speaking without listening, and living without awareness. Chaos destroys identity, relationships, and futures. But emotional intelligence rebuilds. It turns chaos into clarity, conflict into cooperation, and setbacks into comebacks. Transformation through emotional intelligence. EI transforms identity. You begin to see yourself as calm, not reactive. You begin to lead with influence, not force. You begin to connect with empathy, not manipulation. EI transforms relationships. Couples communicate instead of clash. Teams collaborate instead of compete. Communities unite instead of divide. EI transforms futures. Careers grow through influence. Families thrive through empathy. Leaders inspire through balance. The high CTR magnetism of transformation. Audiences crave transformation because it is universal. Everyone has faced emotional chaos. Everyone wants proof that chaos can be turned into clarity. Emotional intelligence delivers suspense, transformation, and hope. Transformation is not glamorous in the moment. It is silence, patience, and listening. But in hindsight, it is cinematic. It is the calm leader, the empathetic parent, the resilient survivor. That is why emotional intelligence is high CTR content, because it is relatable, emotional, and unforgettable. The cinematic resolution. Emotional intelligence is not about avoiding emotions. It is about mastering them. It is the silent power that turns collapse into construction, chaos into clarity, and conflict into cooperation. So when the storm rises, when emotions erupt, when relationships fracture, remember, emotional intelligence is waiting. It is the voice inside that says, rebuild, redesign, rise stronger. Emotional intelligence evolves into transformation. And transformation is the rehearsal for legacy. Emotional intelligence reaches mastery when it becomes legacy. Awareness was the first step. Daily practice was the second. Transformation was the third. But the final stage of emotional intelligence is impact, the ability to inspire others through your balance. Emotional intelligence is no longer about one person controlling emotions. It becomes about communities, families, and generations learning to master emotions together. The emotionally intelligent individual transforms into a leader, a mentor, a guide. Legacy of balance. Emotional intelligence creates balance where chaos once lived. The leader who controls emotions in crisis becomes proof that calmness wins. The parent who listens instead of shouting becomes proof that empathy heals. The teacher who guides with patience becomes proof that understanding transforms. Balance spreads when emotional intelligence is visible. People click, watch, and stay because they want to believe that their own chaos can also become clarity. Legacy of leadership. Emotional intelligence inspires teams, families, and communities. Leaders who practice emotional intelligence guide others through storms. Parents who embody emotional intelligence teach children to rise stronger. Teachers who model emotional intelligence show students that failure is not final. Leadership is not about avoiding collapse, it is about showing others how to rise after it. Legacy of impact. Emotional intelligence transforms personal mastery into collective empowerment. Survivors become mentors. Entrepreneurs become coaches. Professionals become role models. Impact is the final gift of emotional intelligence. It is the proof that your balance is not just for you, it is for everyone watching. Cinematic storytelling thrives here. Picture the leader calming a tense room, the parent guiding a child with patience, the teacher inspiring a class with empathy. The suspense is magnetic. Will they inspire others? Will their emotional intelligence spark change? The audience clicks because they crave proof that emotional intelligence can ripple outward. Emotional intelligence here is magnetic. It is the leader inspiring a team, the parent guiding a child, the community rebuilding together. Emotional intelligence as legacy is not about controlling emotions alone. It is about teaching others to master theirs. It is about turning your balance into a movement. The thrill of emotional intelligence lies in suspense. Will it spread? Will it inspire? Will it transform? The audience stays because they want to see the answer. And the answer, always, is yes. Emotional intelligence is not finished when you master yourself. It is finished when you help others master themselves. Emotional intelligence is the invisible force that transforms societies. It is the hidden energy that rebuilds communities. It is the silent power that creates movements. Emotional intelligence as legacy is timeless. Every generation has faced emotional chaos. Every generation has risen again. And every generation has been inspired by those who mastered emotions before them. So when you rise, remember, your emotional intelligence is not just for you. It is for everyone watching. It is for everyone waiting. It is for everyone who believes they cannot master emotions, until they see you do it. Emotional intelligence becomes legacy when your balance becomes someone else's courage. The cinematic resolution. Emotional intelligence is not about avoiding emotions. It is about mastering them. It is the silent power that turns chaos into clarity, conflict into cooperation, and setbacks into comebacks. So when the room erupts, when tempers flare, when emotions rise, remember, emotional intelligence is waiting. It is the voice inside that says, pause, reflect, respond. Emotional intelligence is the art of inner balance. And balance is the rehearsal for greatness. Emotional intelligence is not just mastery, it is legacy. If this message inspired you, click subscribe to Wellness Within USA right now. Share this video with someone who needs balance today, and comment below how emotional intelligence has shaped your journey. Together, we can build a global movement of inner strength, proving that every storm can be calmed by mastering emotions.